quickly, and we'll have a break here in a little bit. So, who is the person that's reporting for the Reds? Okay, so whoever's reporting for the Reds, if you want to come up and use this mic, then we'll get started with that, and then we'll take a break. We've been going at it here for a while. I want to make sure that we give people a chance to report. So we'll give our attention to the Reds. What are some of your observations? What are some things you talked about? Yeah, you can use this mic right here.
Can you hear me okay? So we got a couple of people going to weigh in here, but we're going to kick it off because we realize that a favorite verse for a number of us, and this is in our personality category, or whatever you want to call it, not personality, but part of it had to do with excellence. So Philippians 4:8. Finally, beloved, whatever is true, whatever is honorable, whatever is just, whatever is pure, whatever is pleasing, whatever is commendable, if there is any excellence, and if there is anything worthy of praise, think about these things.
One of the things we talked about is the analogy of the stained glass window, and how absolutely beautiful they are because of all the difference in the colors, and how dull and lifeless they would be if it was all one color. And we thought that brought out trait number 5, or strength number 5 in our red style, which is being able to empathize and sympathize with others and be compassionate, understanding, and nurturing. And how we love that conversation, and how we love the diversity, and seeing how great the body can be with so many different styles and strengths and opinions. And then we also noticed how it would have been a very different conversation if we had a mix of people, and how that can, we have to learn to sometimes, how can we express that to someone who feels very differently about diversity? So we had a great conversation about how we love it very much, but how do we approach someone who doesn't feel that way? Not that we answered that. I don't know if we came up with a good answer to that. Hopefully we'll answer that later today.
So to close out our red summary, as I was reading through some of this, it really reminded me of a training I went through a few years back, trauma-based phase. I'm a school, you guys know, I'm a school counselor in the Allentown School District, and many of the students I work with have experienced a lot of trauma. But the truth is, all of us have experienced trauma, many of us, in lots of different ways, and it just reminded me how it would help us if we could really try to look at others and look at our world, knowing that each of us has coming with different experiences, different cultures, different feelings, different upbringings, and trying not to judge or feel like, because it's not the way we feel or not the way we see things, we have to understand other people's perspectives, other people's experiences, other people's traumas, baggage, families, all of that. Instead of jumping to anger or jumping to judgment, trying to really think through that, like perhaps they're feeling that way, or perhaps they're looking at this situation in this way because of something that they've experienced in their own life. And I see that with my kids at school all the time. They might flip out at a very, very small thing, and, trying to understand that that's part of their trauma, part of their experience. And I think as a church, we could think about that too. We all have different things and trying to really be open to them. Oh, yes, please.
I was a teacher at cafeteria duty for 35 years.
They didn't have Zoom there.
First observation, 25 people in a group, not a spouse. No spouses in our group. That is interesting. I told a story about my wife and me when we were married. At the beginning, we had a lot of conflict. And it wasn't until we went to a meeting together that we learned that I operate on the right side of my brain, she operates on the left side. In case you don't know what that means, it means my desk has all the pencils facing the same way, and they're sharpened, you know, and your desk is a mess. Anyway. And if we're going to do something, you know, I'm the one who organizes it because I do everything step by step, you know. And she, well, whatever, you know, it's all over the place. Long of the story is we've been married 67 years, so it worked out okay. And she's not here today. Okay, it's a good thing. We have 3 kids, you know, they all have kids, so we're all celebrating Mother's Day tomorrow, but my wife is celebrating with my kids today, so it's okay. At any rate, what I wanted to point out simply is that for us to get along, we had to understand each other, and that we think and act in different ways. I bring order into her life. She brings excitement and creativity into mine. And it's worked.
Thank you very much for that. That's a great story. We're gonna take a break just because we've been engaged in this. We wanted to get in because someone had to leave. We'll come back and we'll hear from the rest of the groups after break. We'll come back at 10:55.